All right, hello everyone. Today we're going to go over lesson 17-1, which is algebraic methods. All right, so we're going to start with the steps for factoring by grouping. Okay, so that's our first method. Okay, so we're going to factor by grouping. Step 1, find the product of A and C. Step 2, find the factors of A and C that have a sum of B. Okay, step 3, rewrite the polynomial separating the linear term. Step 4, we're going to group the first two terms and the last two terms. Step 5, factor each group separately. And step 6, we're going to factor out the binomial. All right, so these are our steps. Remember, you can pause. That way you can write all this down for your notes. All right, and our first example, we're going to factor by grouping, and we're going to factor 2x squared plus 7x minus 4. All right, so step 1 is, or actually let's first find out here, we have this is our A, this is our B, and this is our C. So I'm just going to write them over here real quick. A equals 2, B equals 7, C equals negative 4. Okay. So step 1, find the product of A and C. So this is A, this is C, so we're going to find the product. So 2 times negative 4, which will give me negative 8. All right, and then the next part says, well, you got to find the factors that'll give me, that multiply to negative 8, but that are going to add to B, which is 7. So I got to think of these two numbers or factors. What would go here? Two numbers that multiply to negative 8 and add to 7. So that would be A and negative 1. All right, so I know that 8 plus negative 1 would give me this linear coefficient of 7. All right, so step 3 says to rewrite the polynomial separating the linear term. Okay, so this is our linear term. Let me erase this stuff right here. This is our linear term. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it here, 2x squared. All right, and then I'm going to do, so our linear term, I'm going to rewrite it instead of 7x, I'm going to rewrite it as these two guys right here. So this is going to be positive 8x let me rewrite this really quick. It's kind of light. So positive 8x minus 1x. Then I rewrite the rest of it is minus 4. All right, so step 4, group the first two terms and the last two terms. So what I'm doing is putting parentheses around them. Okay, so I just grouped them, first two terms. These are my first two terms, and these are my last two terms. All right, so I am going to factor each group separately. So I look here, and what can I take out from these two or factor out? I can take out a 2, and I can take out an x. So here, 2 divided by 2 is 1. X squared, and I factor out an x, leaves me 1x. 8 divided by 2 gives me a 4. X divided by x is just 1, so that's what I'm left with. All right, and then I'm here on the other side, on this group right here, or these last two terms, there's nothing I can really take out except this negative. So I'm going to factor out this negative. Negative 1 divided by negative. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay. And the last step says to factor out the binomial. Okay. So now we have two terms. That's why it's a binomial. This is my first term. This is my second term. So two of them. All right, and I notice that these two are the same. So that's what I'm going to factor out here. So I'm going to take out the x plus 4. Okay, I'm going to factor it out. Now, if this is gone, if I factor it out, what I'm left with is 2x minus, and then here I always have a 1 because I have one of these guys. Okay, and that's how you factor it. That's factoring by grouping, okay? All right, let's go to the next example, or the next method. Okay, it is our difference in sum of cubes. Okay, a difference of two squares can be factored using a specific pattern, a squared. Okay, so that is just the example of factoring a difference of squares. Okay, so now a difference of two cubes and a sum of two cubes also have a factoring pattern, so they give you the pattern. So a difference of cubes is 8 to the third. Okay, so you have to know, or kind of, if you see them, this should look familiar. Okay, you should be able to kind of, I guess, notice any cubes, like 8 is a cube, okay? 27 is a cube because it's 27 is 3 cubed. 8 is a cube because it's 2 cubed, right? Okay, so now we're going to factor a difference of, or a sum of cubes. So I have two examples for you. Okay, this is our first example. Okay, so what we do is we use our formula or a pattern, okay, and we're just going to plug in the numbers. So A, anytime I see an A, it's going to go here, 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 okay, and my B's are going to go here, here, and here. All right, same thing for the sum of cubes. All right, so let's start with the first one. All right, so here, what is our A term? Okay. Actually, no. Let's put this first in cube form. So here I know that A is a cube because it's 2 cubed. So I'm going to rewrite this one. Okay, so this one's 3 cubed minus 2 cubed, right? Because 2 cubed is equal to 8. So by substitution, I can put 2 cubed where the 8 is. All right, so now I can actually use the formula. Okay, so here my A term is considered x and my B term is considered 2. Okay, and I'm going to use the formula. Actually, let me write over here. Let me go back. A minus B times A squared plus AB and I'm looking here, okay, plus B squared. Okay, so here, what is my A? Well, my A is x, so that's what I'm going to put here, x. And then my B, it's minus, right? Keep the sign the same. Okay, and my B is 2, so I put 2. Okay, and then I do A squared. Okay, A squared. But what is A equal to? A is x, so I just do x squared. Plus AB, which is A and B. Okay, then I plus, and then I do B squared. But what is B? B is 2, so then I have to square it because this guy tells me, okay, put in B, substitute in your 2, which is B, and then square it. Okay, and then I can just clean this up, rewrite it as x squared plus 2x plus 4. And that is how you write the difference of squares. So this one's actually the difference because we're doing subtraction. Okay, so let's go to the next one. All right, so here I'm actually writing, I want to write everything as a cube. So I can rewrite this guy as a cube, and I can rewrite this guy as a cube. All right, so I know that 8 is equal to 2 cubed, and 64, get out my calculator. All right, and 64 is equal to 4 cubed. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this. 2 cubed x cubed minus 4 cubed. Okay, and then I can rewrite this guy right here as just 2x cubed. They're both cubed. All right, so once again, I have my formula for the difference, because this is a difference of cubes, right? So I'm using this one right here because there's a minus sign between them. All right, so I'm going to use this guy again. All right, so I'm going to write it here, which is a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared, okay? And I know that a is equal to, this is my a term. Let me get this a little bit bigger also. All right, so a is equal to 2x and b is equal to 4. And then I start substituting, putting everything in, okay? So what's a? A is 2x minus b, which is 4. Okay, then I have a squared, so I'm going to do 2x. Remember, this is a squared, so both terms in there have to be squared, plus 2x, this is b, which is 4, plus, and then b squared, which is 4, and then I square it, okay? So let me just clean this up. Okay, so now I'm just going to clean it up. 2x minus 4, this means the 2 is squared and the x is squared. So this is 4x squared plus, I multiply my constants here, my numbers. So here I have 8x plus, and then 4 squared is 16. Okay, and that's it. That's how you do the difference of cubes. This is a difference, so this is your final answer here. All right, so go ahead and try some of these problems out. Remember, you should have taken your notes. You're going to upload your notes, and then your homework is page 270, 16 through 20, and that will be also uploaded for you. Okay, great. Please email me if you have any questions, either through Schoology or to my email. Bye.